everybody, to the Johnny So Show. Today, our special guest is Kevin Brooks, the author of the book Candy. Welcome him, everybody. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Johnny
So, how are you this evening?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fantastic. Nice to have you on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. So, would you like to name any of the other books you've written?
Well, I've written a book named Lucas, Martin Pig, Being, and The Road of the Dead.
Fascinating. So you're on this show today because of your award-winning novel, Candy.
Yes, I can say that.
Would you like to give us a summary?
Well, this kid named Joe, he starts off as a perfect boy. All he did was go to school. He was in a band, and
Oh, really? Would he like to give us a little song? I'm stringing on the banjo all day. Yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
So, about that summer.
Okay, yeah. So as I said, he's in a band, and he had a lump on his arm, so he goes to the doctor. On his way, he meets Candy. They talk. They get each other's numbers. But then, after a few dates, Candy starts lying. Joe finds out there's another man.
What's his man's name?
Well, soon to find out in the book, you'll find that his name's Iggy. But
Do we know anything about him? Or just that his name's Iggy?
for now, all we know is his name's Iggy and that he collects money from Candy. Because at the beginning of the book, when Candy and Joe were having their little fling, Iggy came in and was like, "Why are you paying big money for nothing, son?"
That's pretty funny.
It is funny, right?
Okay, so that's that summary.
So a few days before Candy got dragged off with Iggy, they got to know each other, Candy and Joe. So Iggy drags her off, and Joe, he's in love with her. So he decides to follow her, like any man would do,
What a
right?
stalker, though, eh? Yeah.
Stalker. I would love a man following me. So
You are a man. Did you just reveal that you're gay?
you know what I meant. So Joe knew something was going wrong, so he went out to find her. He finds her, Iggy walks in, they beat Iggy up, and they run off to his cottage. After a few nights of spending together, Joe gets to find out more about Candy. She's a prostitute. Iggy's her pimp. Iggy gives her drugs for his money.
For her sex, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Every time she has sex with somebody, she gives Iggy the money, and Iggy gives her heroin.
Heroin?
Heroin.
Oh.
So,
That's not good, though.
no, but Candy and Joe were so in love, Candy decided to quit.
That's good, though.
But I'm not going to tell you guys any more of this book because that's for you to find out.
So, what do you want to tell your readers? Like, would you tell them to read this book to you?
Well, I myself, when I was writing this book, I was like, nobody would read this. Who would read about a girl with prostitution? But then I thought of it. Why don't we have a story from a guy's point of view? A guy's point of love. You know?
Yeah. So where did the idea of Candy come from, though? Like,
Well,
how
it's
did
a
you
long
randomly
story.
think about
I
that?
was writing another book which included elements of the underworld. Gangsters, vice, drugs, sex.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the book wasn't quite working, you know? They didn't fit the pieces together.
Again?
No.
Okay.
At first I was like, a love story, hugs and kisses? No, I don't think so. But then I started thinking of it, and it struck me there aren't many love stories told from a boy's point of view. What a boy really feels, what he actually feels, like what's inside of him, not what he shows. They fall in love, and they go mad, because boys can't talk about falling in love. So it gets bottled up inside, the weirdness, the fear. And together, with all those ideas, Candy came into place. And Candy was written.
Music plays plays a large part in this book. Did you realize that?
Yeah, it does.
And you write with great authority about playing bass and composing songs. Do you share Joe's passion for guitar? Like, do you like guitar?
I love guitar. To tell you the truth, when I was little, pass me the guitar. When I was little, I used to love to groove.
Ew, you loser. One thing that makes this novel so compelling is that Candy's story is not told from her point of view, like you said earlier. Rather, we see her from the perspective of Joe. This is weird. Why did you choose to tell the story in this way?
Well, Joe is a very open person, as you can see if you read the book. He's a very open person and tells Candy what he feels. But if I wrote a story about a girl's point of view falling in love, it would be just like all the others. And I wanted him to feel different.
That's true.
I wanted guys to read this book. I think guys would enjoy it. There's lots of fighting. Iggy's a very, very strong person.
You focus on the theme of addiction a lot in this book. Addiction to drugs, addiction to music, addiction to people. Do you think that love could be an addiction?
I think that Candy started off to be addicted to the drugs, but then she hung out with the right people like Joe, and he became more of an addiction than she did. Then she needed to be addicted to drugs. So maybe Joe was her drug. Maybe they were meant to be.
That's a very good way to put it. Anything else to say?
No.
Just thank you for coming though.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I never said you could have the guitar.